Hello all, welcome back to Consciousness Rising. Today I really wanted to sort of piggyback on the back of another theme that's been going around at the moment, and I absolutely love this. I think it's brilliant. I believe it was started by Fiona Edgar, who's a fantastic astrologer. In fact, she's the only one I really trust, her and Olivia. She came up with this term, I think, the age of the victim is over, the age of the hero has begun, which I think is absolutely brilliant. It made me think of Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey and conjured up all these sort of images in my mind. And on top of that, Rene from his channel Dutch Pagans, he's kind of carried on with that theme a little bit and included it in his videos. And I think it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And really, this is in response to a video he did yesterday called Healing Yourself Through Animism, which was absolutely brilliant. I'm going to try and link it underneath. And it is about we need to stop being victims. And I've gone into the world of psychology, and I'm going to present this, what's known as the drama triangle. And what these basically are is they're positions that people can find themselves in, or it could be positions that they seek and it's something unconscious within them that they haven't healed, so they want to be, one of these or things like that. And I hate terms, and I don't like, a lot of the work that I do with people is breaking down barriers and terms and freeing people of their kind of preconceived notions of who and what they should be. And so, yeah, this is the drama triangle. I could go really deep into this. I'm only going to do a whistle stop kind of tour of it today. But basically, you've got three positions there. You've got the persecutor, the rescuer, and the victim. And really, I would say a lot of people, and this is how I'm responding to that video yesterday, a lot of people are stuck in victim mode. They ask constantly, why me? Why is this happening to me? Oh, I'm so useless. I have no power, which is all just absolute lies that they don't realize and haven't worked through. They're all blocks that need working through. But in this triangle, you always need the other two roles, and they all feed off and kind of blend into each other. They all need each other. So if we start at the victim, that's the easiest one to explain. The victim is always persecuted by something. Now, I'm not saying people aren't victims of things, because obviously there are real persecutors in the world that go around causing harm to others, and dangerous pathological individuals, which I've spoken about before, and they create victims. So that's obvious. However, when you're stuck in victim mode, sometimes they see everything as a persecutor. The world, all their problems is because it's someone else's fault. There's no self-ownership when you're stuck in victim. And they often will look for a rescuer. So they want someone basically outside of themselves to take all their problems away. Rescue me, help me, help me, help me. And this is obviously a huge problem with the world. It doesn't take that long really to recognize this trait in a lot of people. Everyone's looking for a bloody rescuer. And when you get off this triangle, which is, this is just one way of looking at psychology. You want to break off this triangle and not be in any of these roles, really. You want to solve things from your heart center. So the victim, the persecutor might be someone. It could be the world, it could be the universe, it could be God, it could be this, it could be that. But there's always a persecutor, and they always gravitate to a rescuer because they can't do the inner work themselves. So, and it's a terrible, terrible place to be. That is not a heroic stance at all. The heroic stance is to break all three of these. Equally, let's go on to talk about the rescuer here. I've known people in my own life that are rescuers. They naturally want to solve all the world's problems, and they gravitate towards victims because they're looking for victims in order to fulfill what's missing in them. They need a victim in their life that they can help, so they feel their self-worth. Again, that is not coming from within, it's coming from without. So a rescuer is a terrible place to be as well. And when you do therapy training, like I've done, to get to my role, we had to, in the last 2 years, we had to be invited back for the last year. And the interesting thing was, many people were not invited back and basically kicked off the course. And one of the biggest reasons for that is because they were trying to rescue people. And a good therapist will never rescue you. They'll work with you, alongside you, but you can't rescue people. It's with only they can rescue themselves. And obviously, the rescuer also looks for the persecutor, because it's like, oh, that evil whatever did that to you, didn't they? And then they both collude with each other, the victim and the rescuer, to hate the persecutor, which is also leaking energy and not good for anyone. So, and also with the rescuers as well, they gravitate towards drama. They're often very empty people, I feel. They don't have a lot going on in their lives, and they need to have that role. But these are all great points, really. If people come to therapy and they are stuck in one of these roles, you that you can work with that, and look at it. Where does it come from? Because a lot of these can be unconscious as well. I'm very aware of that. But yeah, victim and rescuer, terrible places to be. And the persecutor goes without saying. The persecutor, I mean, to me, a real persecutor is someone that's just not in balance with natural law and is basically, trampling on people's natural rights, creating victims through anger or whatever is wrong with them. So I think this is a really, really interesting model. I've used it a lot with clients, actually. I think it comes from the School of Transactional Analysis, which is a psychological school. Yeah, I think that the ultimate goal here is to have a look at these and see if you've been sucked into any of these roles, because it can happen unconsciously. Please don't take this as I'm slamming everyone. Sometimes these are needs that are unmet as well, because if you are a natural rescuer, that need to rescue people might come from something that's unmet in your childhood. It could be anything. The same as being a victim. It may come from actually being a victim, because, like I said, people are victims of things, but you can't stay a victim for your whole life, really. And there's a difference between forgiveness and letting go, which I'm going to do another video on. I really want to talk about the difference between forgiveness and letting go, because I am not for forgiveness at all. But I am for letting go, because then you free yourself. But I don't believe in forgiveness. Yeah, so I just wanted to present that today, because I think it's a really good working model, and it goes alongside with this theme that seems to be going around, which I absolutely love, which is so reminds me of Joseph Campbell, to not step into these roles. And if you have been, how can you break free of it? Because that's the ultimate goal. You need to destroy this triangle. You don't need it. Everything comes from within. And, yeah, be the hero. And I love that. So I just wanted to present that today. Take care, guys.